Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out the www.farmerkhalil website. So guys, I'm at Unity Boer Goat Farm. I haven't given you guys an update on this farm in a very long time. But one of the reasons why I want to come here today is because we want to kind of discuss how the genetic landscape of Jamaica has changed since they start allow importation of goats. This is a very good activity. Mr. Bartley definitely jumped on that train and he has imported some animals. So I kind of just want to see how this model is going to work, what improvements he's looking for with this new genetics, the pricing mechanisms definitely for offsprings, and how is it that now we can actually, knowing that we have full-blood animals into the country that are registered, how is that we can pass on this type of system to the farmers, especially when Jamaica has not yet accepted the registration system, or the government or the farmers have not put a system in place for us to have registered animals. How can this system work? Is there going to be a collaborative effort between we as farmers in Jamaica and the American Boer Goat Association to see if we can have these animals continue to work in their registry? How is it that we're going to maneuver around that system? And how is it that DNA testing is going to play a very important role in driving what we'll call customer belief or customer approval of buying what we call full-bred or purebred animals? So guys, here we have one of the imported females. Very young animal. What I love is her head. That distinct boar head is very good. Her body is also really nice. You can see good muscling on this animal already. This is the traditional boar goat, what we know, the brown head and the white body. But then there's also now the debate about these colored boars and how is that they're going to match in our system. Should we accept them as boar goats because we're wondering where this coloration come from? It's a very big debate, not only in Jamaica, but even in the United States, they're having some debates about this. Would we really consider these animals as full-bred animals, or we're just working with the concept of full-bred, that we have two full-blooded animals coming together, give it that full blood? So now guys, meet some of the colored boars. We have a black one over here, we have this red one here, and we also have a next red one at the back. A lot of people now running towards these colors. I'm not sure why. They're still boar, they're still very pretty looking, but debate about how is it that the boars get these color is a big question by a lot of breeders out there right now. Something that we should definitely dive into, but I'll leave that for our next episode. So guys, the importation process is really not that easy, and it's a little bit expensive, I can tell you that. From purchasing the animals to all the fees, the transportation cost is pretty expensive, and then you have some strict regulations that you have to follow by when they come to Jamaica. So for one, the animals have to be quarantined for 2 weeks at the government facility, and then you yourself have to do some quarantining for the vets to come and do the checks to ensure that the animals are healthy and they can allow it into your herd. Here at Unity Boer Goat Farm, what Mr. Bartley did was actually built a second housing that acted as a quarantine facility. Farmers will have to find a way in allowing animals to be quarantined. If it's to have pens that is separated from the rest of your herd, that you can hold these animals for the next 2 weeks in quarantine, it's important that you take this into consideration. And there's also a cost at the veterinary service division where you have to basically pay for that quarantine period. You have to also bring the whole setup. So you have to bring your feeding troughs, your water troughs, you have to bring like sawdust for bedding on the floor, and then you have to bring your own feed. And normally you have to bring hay, or you have to bring some hyper goat feed to feed these animals in the quarantine setup. So the process is a little bit tedious to do it. However, I still hope farmers will jump on board and do a lot of importations. So I think there's two reasons why farmers would kind of want to import. One, they would want better genetics. So for like the breeders like Mr. Bartley here, he wants more breeding stock from quality genetic lines to have diversity for one in his herd. At the same time, just trying to carry the level of boer goats to a next level. Better quality animals out there that we probably have here locally, and that's just the truth. For me, my favorite reason for a farmer to import animals is to move into a more commercial-like setup. So farmers who would bring in a lot of breeding females, I believe, would benefit more from this operation. So if you plan to go into meat, or you want to do a mix of both genetics and meat, you need numbers, a good number to can allow you to can fill a particular market demand for meat. So farmers might be bringing in 200 breeding females. That would give them a good start. I kind of more like that process, but it definitely would cost you a lot more money to import 200 animals. The benefit, or the way you're going to save, is that probably you don't have to buy the best genetic stock, because you're just looking for animals for a commercial traits. So animals with definitely good body frame, that are fertile and prolific. Those are the type of animals that you'd want to bring in. So when you have these animals now here locally, an issue you might face is the acclimatization. These animals might be coming from totally different climates, used to a totally different feeding system, and you have to allow them to adjust into what we have here. Here you're going to see the animals probably undergo a lot of stress. I wouldn't tell farmers to be alarmed, and just understand this is a natural process, and we have to put everything in place to ensure that we keep them stress-free. So for me, the best thing is to ask or look into the farming system that where they're coming from, and try to mimic that, and then transition them over into our system. Introduce them to our types of grass slowly, especially if it is green, fresh grass coming from the field where you might have worms. So I would tell farmers, my advice, if they're here, start with hay. Start them on that dried grass. They'll probably be used to it, and definitely start them off on some of hyper goat feed. Most of the animals who I believe come into Jamaica so far are on hyper goat feed, and we have seen good results in maintaining their body condition. We're not seeing a fall off or any issues with bloat, etc. Because we do provide with a good formulation. So guys, this will be the quarantine facility for animals. As you see, individual pens to house probably separate animals as we'd like. We might can't do individual for one, but you can definitely use these separations to kind of allow the vet to come in and check the animals them as easily as possible, and then you have them separated from your herd. We really don't want that we're bringing animals with any problem, even though I think they go through a rigorous test from the United States, where they do a lot of testing that you have to pay for. And then when they come to Jamaica, they also do some tests. And they won't allow your animals out of the quarantine station unless they pass some of these criteria. Alright, let me see your registration papers now, please. So guys, this is what it look like. So guys, this is what the certification looks like from the American Boer Goat Association. Your name, you see the pedigree that's on it, stamp of approval, and some other parameters that is very important for you to kind of determine the foundation of the goat, or the DNA codes, etc. It's pretty cool. So Mr. Bartley, some of the size that you imported, what are some of the names of these animals?
Yeah, I have a dapple buck that I share, and we call it, his name is Copperhead. It's a brown dapple, and we have Doctor's Order, which is a traditional buck. We have the Trouble Buck that won at Denby Junior Grand Champion, which is also a traditional. We have another Conan Lion buck here that he was at Denby also. I think he placed third. And we have Terminator. Terminator is thick, not in height, but good bone structure. Very, one day I'll just show him on video. And then we have Gladiator, and then we have a buck here from the champion buck, another champion buck in America, man from Snowy River. So I think we're headed in the right direction when it comes to pedigrees and with the traditional line.
So Mr. Bartley, I see you have paperwork for your animals. Can this paperwork benefit local farmers? Or how can it benefit local farmers?
Yes, because it can benefit local farmers, because that's one of my plans going forward, is to make sure that all my full blood animals that I have here, that have paperwork, when they give me offsprings, I definitely want to continue with the registration and also involve DNA testing, because I'm working on that at this present moment and talking to David Carwell overseas that shipped down the goats them for us. So working with him, I know going forward, and others too, because I have a lady that really want to visit Jamaica that raised goat in America, Elizabeth, and recently in contact with her because 2 of the goats that I bring down was pregnant. One of them was River Rat, the dad. I'm gonna post them soon on the show how good they are. And then you have Party Force is the next dad for the one that was born in quarantine. I think a lot of people saw me when I was coming from quarantine with the kid in the truck with me, and they're going beautiful. The one from River Rat, from 2M Borgo River Rat, that goat give me 3. Give me a triplet, so 1 died and 2 live. And if you see how lovely the buck is growing, and the female, which I call hot sauce. So going forward with paperwork, I have no problem helping my clients to register going forward, showing them how we can continue with the process until our Small Ruminants Association or the JAS, we come up with our own registry where we can do our own registration paper here. I think that's, you know, something that we need to get onto and need to do, to be honest.
Yes, guys, the industry is changing, and the breeders definitely love this opportunity to take their showcasing to the next level. And also, guys, go and support Mr. Bartley Farm Store. It's pretty good service.